remember living at a place they called Monterey Peninsula in Central California. One of the most beautiful places I ever seen in my life. I called it the eighth wonder of the world. Anyhow, this is the way I found my writing. I wrote this piece for Monterey. One cold night in Monterey. As I sat alone one cold night in Monterey, looking out from my flat on a hill where street lights could be seen as they glared out to sea a mile away. My mind wandered and stories raced in my head when I took notice of a writer, my friend, taking a cold, lonely walk down the street with a serious look as he carried his book. His gray beard and hair blended into the night as he disappeared beyond the street lights. For a moment, a strange feeling came over me. The stories just kept coming and humming in my head until I had to write the night away. It was like a cold breeze that just passed and ignited a big sneeze, sending energies pouring out from all the ends, putting me into a trance while words played a tune and rhythm like Count Basie's Big Bang. The unknown side of me was bursting and overflowing for a ride in my mind. One cold night in Monterey, I sat alone atop a hill in my small flat, staring and glaring at the sea from far away, while stories played an unfamiliar tune in my head right before I went off to bed. My first trip to West Africa, along the coast of West Africa. My hair was bushy. I didn't know anybody, and they didn't know who I was with all that hair. So I wrote this. My fro. Man, my fro was tall, round as a basketball, and stuck out over my ears some words I just couldn't hear. I was black and proud, could nobody tell me I wasn't above the clouds. Dashikis were all I wore. Other rags I just threw out the door. Man, my fro was tall, round as a basketball, stuck out over my ears, and some words I just didn't care to hear. Check this. I left for Africa proud as I could be. Landed in Africa and thought I was a bushman from Stirling. Children ran as I walked in markets and streets, pointing and laughing, wondering who could this man be. My fro attracted so as I traveled through 6 countries, and African folks just cleared the path by jumping back, especially in the Ivory Coast. It was a trip, but my fro I wasn't going to clip. Man yelled, "Hey man, why you no cut your hair? This is nonsense." I turned and yelled, "Go jump over the fence and mind your own business." Children rushed from nearby schools, circled me and sang songs. For a moment I just wanted everyone to leave me alone, as I felt like one crazy fool. I ran up the streets as fast as I could, while an old man shook a razor in his hand. African folks was crazed at the sight of my fro, but I had no intention of cutting it low. Sometimes when I flash back to my African adventure, I sit and laugh after all these years about African folks who thought my fro was too big of a hoax. And some even said, I told you man wears wig. One thing that what traveling did for me, it opened my eyes to different kinds of people, culture, food, taste. Things I took for granted over here in America, I don't take for granted anymore. And that has followed me for years. So I wrote this. The world is a melting pot. Look around. Folks of all colors and cultures can be found. America's a melting pot. Look around. Folks of all colors and cultures can be found. If found in the deepest bush of a faraway land may seem out of touch, but even they dance to their own little world. America and the world are melting pots. Mix and mix like different ingredients in a big kettle, making a colorful blend. Every race can't be like one another, but we can live in the same pot when we try to understand other folks in different kind of life as we move about. The world is a melting pot. America's a melting pot. Look around. Folks of different cultures can be found. In common sense, it will always be, because God means for us to see. A heart cries to be free from behind a barbed wire fence that makes no sense. always having to put up some kind of defense. The world is a melting pot. America's a melting pot. Just look around instead of turning your face away, as anger passes our lives every day. Open your ears, eyes, and heart to the beauty of the universe. And if we are lucky, just maybe, we'll save this place before it's too late. I wrote this piece as a young boy. I used to want to drive my daddy's car and listen to 8 tracks, kicking back. The name of this piece is Clipped Heels, 8 tracks, kicking back. First real pair of shoes my uncle bought me. 15 years old I was. Lips didn't even have a fuzz. Handed me $30, sent me downtown to buy a brown pair of shoes. Stacey Adams was their name, and my feet and walk were never gonna be the same. Cool as I could be, listening to Boss Man Big Joe Turner on the 8 tracks in my daddy's car. Stacey Adams looking me in the face with clipped heels as I wished to drive daddy's wheels. Old shoemaker on iron sure could clip the leather, like low rides on feet. Toes of Stacey Adams stood up and in your face. They stared as I strutted my walk to the sound of 8 tracks. A couple of wrinkles in the middle and white stitch threads showing their teeth. Black shellac bordered the sole and the heel stood low, tipping and dodging any little dirt that it may see coming this way. Clipped heels, 8 tracks, and just plain kicking back in the 5th ward, playing some beard to Lou Willie Jones Talk to Me, matching up a combination with Stacey Adams to wear to the Palladium in 3rd ward, maybe navy or black, to hear Otis Redding kick back, singing the dock of the bay, sending cold chills our way. After my first real pair of shoes, my feet always sung the blues. Didn't matter how much I had to pay. Stepping on one's feet was unthinkable. Even by accident, you still might have gotten laid unless somebody would come to your aid. Dudes was crazy about their clipped heel Stacys. Carried white handkerchiefs in our pockets, and white Stacys if the dust got in its socket. Stacey Adams was the trademark of our feet. Passed on lounge the other day where old shoemaker once was. First clipped heels he did for me, and my lips didn't even have a fuzz. I smiled as I drove away, thinking about the times when I used to lean against the jukebox, being cool, strutting my Stacey Adams with clipped heels and white stitch threads staring me in the face as I dropped in a dime and punched Please, Please by James Brown. After all these years of living, time seemed like it just flew by. But I've been blessed. I'm still here. And having fun. Time as I wrote this piece. Time is a powerful force we can feel but can't see. It passes at a rapid speed throughout the universe doing its deed. Time is a thing that is never idle while leaving behind so much change. Memory is its fast because time never lasts. It just keeps moving to the next class. Time is a thing we all have to believe as it sweeps up old dead leaves, never looking back to the same track. It passes through generations and carries people's spirits onto another foundation. Families are swept up one by one as the young takes their place for another new day. Spirit of the old is transferred to the young as time keeps on moving because it ain't about to be elusive. It has a mind of its own, and time spins it all along. Time has no enemies, neither any friends. So it doesn't have to answer to anyone while rushing from around the bend, speeding into another trend. Time is a thing we can't see but we can feel as it passes at a rapid speed doing its deed. Time wraps us up into its arms, always keeping us alarmed, sometimes giving our face a good slap. Let us know we are only here for a short nap. To enjoy, be merry, and not contrary. And above all, be kind. Time moves on, and we sure would hate to leave all of us behind.